Cardarine, Rad 140, and other SARMs. How effective are they? Watch this.
Next caller is Nadim from Texas.
Nadim, what's up, man? How can we help you?
What's happening?
Well, if it isn't Mind Pump,
Hey.
the #1 fitness, health, and entertainment podcast in the world,
Hey.
and possibly known universe.
How'd you know that?
In the universe.
So what's
At least
going on?
in this galaxy.
So, all right. I've been working out seriously since about 2017. I'm 23 years old right now. And shortly after I started, I found you guys from Bradley Martin. And having no knowledge, I just began lifting heavy and pushing really hard. At the time, I was 17, 18 years old, and I was taking some hardcore the kind with the DMAA. And then I messed around with a little bit of SARMs, some Cardarine, MK677, and some Rad 40. And I eventually hurt my lower back and my shoulder. And I started following your guys' advice and have been treating lifting like a skill and not as, torture.
Yeah,
so I
cool.
I maxed out at 375 on deadlift, 285 on squat, 225 on bench, and 135 on overhead press.
Good numbers. Okay.
And so I've done the standard RGB and have Prime and Prime Pro. I've started to try and push strength again after all these years of practicing form and movement. And something always seems to come up where I can't push the weight higher, and I feel like I need to go back and correct my form. And I feel it just kind of takes me out of the groove of trying to go heavy, and any help would be wonderful. I don't track my protein numbers right now, but I know I'm consuming a lot more than usual. And I feel like I've been in the maintenance/building amount. And I know I need to start tracking numbers, but at the moment I've just been kind of writing down my movement for the day and the foods that I'm eating. And I'm 6'2", about 195 pounds, weighed when I wake up. So yeah.
Nadim, I got good news and bad news. So
I'm ready.
The bad news is, you did this at 17 and 18. You did everything backwards. So you went straight into the craziest shit you could buy online. You didn't focus a lot on programming your workouts or really understanding diet. So you did it all backwards. So the stuff that you did, might have affected your hormones in a negative way. Who knows? You probably recovered okay. You were so young. DMAA, super strong stimulant, not even legal anymore. SARMs, they'll stop testosterone production. Rad, 140 has been shown to have some pretty toxic effects on the liver and stuff like that. So I hope you're not doing that anymore. But the good news is this. Sir. Okay, the good news is this. Proper workout programming and diet is going to give you better gains than you got with shitty programming and not looking at your diet with SARMs. So you're going to get better results if you're better about your diet, you start tracking, and you follow some good workout program. Let's talk about the workout program here for a second. I know you have our RGB bundle. That's great. But because of what you're saying with some of the injuries and stuff like that and pain.
Symmetry.
Yep. I would go MAP Symmetry. I think you have some stability and some probably right-left imbalances. And I think that'll be the perfect program for you.
Yeah, that's going to address a lot of those problems.
Now, diet-wise, we got to start tracking and figure out where you're at. Like, at
least the protein.
Yeah, I would never try. I don't trust that you said you think you're eating a lot of protein because you have no idea. Mm-hmm. And you're always going to be off. I'm off, and I've been doing this for a long time. When I start to track, I'm always surprised. Like, oh, I thought I was eating this, and now I'm eating this. So I want you to track, see what you're eating now on a regular basis. If you want to gain, bring it up by about 500 calories. If your body weight's at about 195 and you want to gain 10 pounds of lean body mass, I would say aim for about 205 grams of protein, about 500 calories to 800 calories above what you're eating now or averaging now. With a good program like MAP Symmetry, get good sleep, okay? Make sure you get really, really good sleep. So prioritize that. And take creatine. That would be the one supplement I'd say you take if you don't take it now. And you're going to see yourself progress better than you did with the other methods that you did before.
Yeah, I think Symmetry just being novel alone is going to give you some nice new strength gains. It's going to be different than the traditional barbell, back squat, bench press, overhead press stuff. So you're going to see some great gains just from that. if there was two, like minimum symmetry and track your protein, those two things alone. If you looked at like all of the advice that Sal's given you, those are like the track your protein, make sure you consistently hit every day, follow symmetry
Every day though.
Yeah, every day. So that's the bare minimum. If you do that alone, I guarantee you're already going to see some good results. If you also get detailed, track the calories, and make sure you're staying 500 or so above, like you're saying, I think that's just going to add to that. But the bare minimum, those two things, and I promise you're going to see good results.
So I do kind of have a caveat to the to symmetry. I did I think it's the DEXA scan where you stand on the little scale thing and you like hold your arms up. Yeah, and I got the results back, and everything was really pretty symmetrical, off by just like point whatever percent. Like,
doesn't matter.
Not much at all.
No, it doesn't matter. Yeah,
it's
so
about the recruitment patterns.
Exactly. So the recruitment patterns are what we're looking for. The novel stimulus is what we're looking for. Rarely do you see massive discrepancies with hypertrophy. When you see that, then it's really bad, right? So if I see someone's right to left and their right arm is a quarter inch bigger or half an inch bigger,
super compensated.
Now we're like, oh, we're really down the path of an imbalance. But if you were to go do unilateral exercises, you're going to see a difference between right and left, especially if you always train bilaterally. So really, it's more about novel stimulus. It's about central nervous system adaptation, and then what that can lead to. That's why I said symmetry, and also because we see that you followed our RGB bundle, which a lot of, except for maybe performance, most of it's bilateral type training.
So in the past, I don't know if this has any relevance, but I did break my left collarbone, and then on my right hand, I don't know what this bone is called, but they call it a boxer's fracture usually. Yeah. And so I noticed some grip issues with my right hand, and sometimes when it's when I grip too tightly, it just hurts. So is that maybe I can strengthen up my forearms and it shouldn't hurt as much or something like that?
Scale back on the masturbating.
Yep.
That's right.
You gotta use both hands.
Stop doing it so aggressive.
That's how Adam broke his arm. So listen,
apply the stranger method.
Yeah, listen, it should start to balance out with the program like symmetry. Unless there's a real issue with the way that you healed, in which case I would work with a correctional exercise specialist. And what can happen sometimes with the boxer's fracture is the bones, as they fracture, then they kind of overlap and then they heal in this kind of staggered position. And that can cause some issues with grip. However, when it comes to the hands, the compensations and adaptations are pretty remarkable. I mean, I've seen people with some pretty interesting issues balance out pretty well just through some slow, consistent training. So I don't think it'll be that bad of a problem just based off the fact that you can already work out now. And I think symmetry would address it on its own. But if it doesn't, then I would seek out the help of a specialist, because then you're talking something really individualized.
Okay. All right. Well,
we'll send you symmetry.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Stop taking SARMs.
Yeah. No, that's my friend and I were too gung ho about it, and we even talked. I know you guys talked about DNP recently, and don't. I know. Don't ever do that stuff. But we were talking about it at that young age, and I'm so glad we didn't get into that. Bro, that's way too much.
That was me at your age.
Yeah,
at 18.
You're good. You're good.
I was
bro.
like that at 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. One real quick question that I had is, so I just became a personal trainer through NASM, and I was wondering if through NCI or whoever else, if there's another certification that you guys would recommend that I start working on
to be a better trainer and coach.
Yes. NCI.
NCI, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're working on something we got coming down the pipe.
We got things in the future for you for sure.
Yeah. That's right.
Roll NCI, and then we got
Hold
something.
Tight.
Yeah, Doug, maybe we can email them our links, because I know we have some like discounts and stuff through NCI.
Yeah, we can do that for sure.
All right, Nadeem.
All right, well, thank you guys. Keep doing what you're doing.
You got it, man.
All right, brother.
Thank you. I specifically, I remember at that age, I had a friend, bro. I had
in the experimental phase.
Bro, I had a family friend. He was a bodybuilder, jack guy, and he told me, literally, he goes, "This is what you got to do. Lift full body 3 days a week, eat a lot of protein, get good sleep. And I literally thought, you don't want to tell me
Yeah.
what to do because
You're holding out on me.
And his advice was right. It was so annoying, but this is exactly the shit that I would do. I'd go take every supplement, and SARMs didn't exist back then, but you better believe I would have bought every SARM I could at that age. And it's backwards because it's not going to have the impact. I remember this too. I had a trainer that worked for me. No, sorry, sales guy that worked for me in one of the gyms I managed. And he went on the most insane steroid cycle, but his workout and diet sucked so bad that you could barely tell that anything happened. And he's like, it's fake stuff. It's fake stuff. And this other guy who was on the same stuff who knew what he was doing, it was very different.
What was that? So it's not ephedra. What was it?
DMAA.
So is that the stuff they'd make dynamite out
No, that's
of?
the DMT one.
No.
Yeah.
Or DNP.
DNP. That's right. Yeah.
No, DMAA, I actually found some as a research chemical because I'd never tried it. And I took it. Legit. I see why they banned it. It's a drug, bro. I see why that's illegal.
I figured you'd know.
I know.
About
It's
it.
crazy stuff.